Hello and welcome, I'm your Code Monkey, and in this video we're continuing to create a graph in Unity. We're going to create the inline graph visual object by implementing the object interface so we can later update our graph in real time. Let's begin. So here's our graph. It works perfectly fine, displays any number of values we give it. In the previous video we created the bar chart visual object, which is responsible for handling each specific bar. The object interface is what we will need in order to update the graph in real time. But before we do that, let's apply that interface to the inline graph. You can see the line graph visual. It has a simple dot and it has a connection to the previous dot. So let's check out the code. So here is the inline graph visual. The one big difference from the bar chart is, again, the connection to the last.game object. So in our visual object, we need to deal with that connection. So let's first go down here and make a public class line graph visual object, which will implement the iGraph visual object interface. So in here on the public constructor line graph visual object, on the constructor we're going to receive a game object, which will be the dot game object. Then we're also going to receive a game object for the dot connection game object. And finally, a line graph visual object for the last visual object. So let's store all of these as member variables. Alright, so let's deal with the cleanup, since that is a very simple thing to implement. So in here, a public void cleanup, which again, if you've seen the last video, you know that the graph visual object interface has the function to set the graph visual object info, which contains all of the information required to position the dot, and the cleanup, which is responsible for destroying all of the related game objects. So on the cleanup, all we're going to do is destroy, first of all, the dot game object, and then also destroy the dot connection game object. Okay, so the cleanup is very simple. Now let's work on the public void set graph visual object info. And the function, which again is defined on the interface, has these parameters, which are the same that we use when adding a new dot to our graph. So in here we want to update the dot game object that we received with these values. So let's go up here and see how the dot was created. So for dot, all we need is the actual position. So we need to change the anchored position. So let's start by doing that. Get the anchored position on the dot game object, set the anchored position to the graph position. Okay. So with this setup, the one thing we need to do on the interface is go up here on the create graph visual object. Let us actually create a line graph visual object. Line graph visual object equals a new line graph visual object. And let's give it the dot game object. And then we need the dot connection and the last dot game object. So let's go, instead of adding it in here, let's add down here. Define the dot connection game object up here instead of down there. And for the last visual object, for now, let's just send it as null. And then this is what we're going to return from this function. Okay, so let's test. So here we are, and if I switch to the line graph visual, yep, there it is. You can see everything works exactly the same as previously. Since we are using a common interface, all of our graph code already works correctly. So we don't even need to worry about going into the main graph class and dealing with the show graph function. That is one of the main benefits of using an interface. As long as you implement it, all of the other code that uses the interface works just fine. Now, the one thing we are currently not updating is the actual connection. So right now you can't actually see that problem since it is already correctly set up on construction. But if I were to randomly change the value of a point, you would see that the connection no longer connects. So let's try doing that just to see the error in action. So all the way up here we have a graph visual object list, just like that. Okay. So after creating everything on the list, let me randomly modify a random one. So let's say on index number 4, I'm going to change it. So here I randomly changed the value of this point, but as you can see, the connection did not update. The point did update its position, but not the connection. So let's solve this bug. Down here on the set graph visual object info, let's update the dot connection game object. Now, not all of them are going to have connections, so the first thing we need to do is make sure we do have a connection. So if the .connection game object is different from null, then we're going to update it. So let's go up here and see how the connection is set up. And here you have a connection from position A to position B. And this is what we're doing. We grab the rect transform, we calculate the direction from A to B, we calculate the distance between that, and we apply it to our size delta and anchored position. So let's copy most of this down here. So here is the same code for updating our dot connection. Now obviously we need to get the dot position B and dot position A. Now dot position A will be this graph position, so we can change that for that, okay? Now for the B, we need to know the position of the last visual object. So the last visual object is of type line graph visual object. So down here, let's make another function, a public vector2, which will be get graph position. Essentially, this will return the graph position of this visual object, which, as you can see, is set on the rect transform anchored position. So that's what we're going to return in here. So we are returning the anchored position of this game object. So now we can go up here and define the dot position B as the last visual object dot get the graph position. So when updating the graph visual object info, first we check if we do have a connection. If we do, we grab the rect transform, we calculate the direction between this position to the last visual object at graph position. Then we calculate the distance and apply the size delta, anchored, and the rotation. Alright, so now let's see if the connection does correctly update to match the new position. Now the one thing we still need to do is actually send the last visual object, so let's go all the way up here. So here on the line graph visual, we are storing the last.game object, but instead of storing that, we want to store the last graph visual object. So let's make a of type line graph visual object. This will be the last line graph visual object. So we set it by default to null, and down here, if that one is different from null, then you get that one dot get the graph position instead of going to the anchored position. And here we set the last one to be this line graph visual object. And when we create it, let's give it the previous last one. Alright, so let's test and see if the connection now correctly matches. Alright, so here it is. This is the point that we have modified. And you can see the connection from this one to the previous one is indeed correct. That one is correctly calculating the difference. This dot used to be down here, then it shifted up there, and now it correctly connects. However, as you can see, this connection here is not correctly connecting to that dot. This is because we have set up the object to handle the connection to the previous dot. So when we modify this one, it modifies this connection, but when we modify this one, we also have to notify this object to update this connection. So we're going to notify this object when this one changes using an event. So here on the line graph visual object, let's make a public event handler, and let's call it on changed graph visual object info. And we're going to fire it in here when we set the graph visual object. So if that one is not null, then fire it using this and event args.empty. Okay. So whenever we change, this object fires an event. Now that means we can go up here into the constructor. And if we do have a last visual object, so if last visual object is different from null, so this one is connected to something else. So let's subscribe to the last visual object dot on change visual object info. So this function here won't be called when the previous dot changes, which means in here we need to change the connection and the connection only. We don't want to call this function directly because that would then fire the event and so on, and at the end it would end up updating every single dot. So we want to change this code into its own function. So in here, let's make a private void update.connection. And here we're essentially going to copy all of this. And we're going to call this function in here when we set the visual object info, okay. And when the previous one changes, let's also update that connection. All right, so let's test and see if the connection correctly changes between both points. All right, so here it is, and as you can see, both connections are now correctly updating. So we modified this point manually, and now this connection updates correctly, and this one also updates correctly. So this object in here was notified when this one changed. All right, so everything is pretty much working. The only thing missing is our tooltip. So let's do the same thing we did with the bar chart, which is, first of all, we go up here and we add the button UI component when we actually create the .game object. So in here, before we return, add the .button UI component to the game object. Okay. And instead of setting the tooltip in here, we're going to set it on the set visual object info. After updating connection, let's also update the tooltip. So grab the button UI for the .button UI, which is based on the .game object .get component type button UI. So we are now updating the tooltip that is shown. So let's see. And yep, there it is. The tooltip has been updated. It used to show a random value, then I updated it to show a random string, and it did correctly update. So we can now easily modify a specific data point, change its position, its tooltip, and everything else. So there you have it. We created a line graph visual object using the previous interface. In the next video, we're finally going to work on updating the graph in real time. As always, you can download the project files and utilities from unitycodemonkey.com. If you have any questions, post them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Subscribe for more videos and I'll see you next time.